So,
This is, pretty sure it's steps,
Okay.
you know, right?
Thanks.
yeah,
Calling back.
that's all three steps.
Okay, so this is the fall 2022 CSI finals role play for the sales competition. And hopefully we are streaming a live video now on my channel. And we'll see if it's working. And then I think I'm gonna have you sit here so that the buyer can sit here so we can see. Can you see both of these chairs?
I cannot see Todd.
You cannot see, so,
You want me to just be
let me
positioned?
do- You'll stay there.
Back up some.
You're on my good side. There we go.
Hello? Okay, good.
Is it streaming?
Streaming, yes.
It's.
Okay, thank
Let's
you.
see.
the first contestant.
Okay,
Let's
bye.
see.
Seems
Well, it
good.
says we've got two viewers. If you'll
You
sit, I think,
cannot see over here, so we'll have
if you'll,
to do this.
yeah, that side. If you'll move over there so I can see if I can see you, that would be great. And then we'll have the sales professional sit there. And I think we can
So where's the
see
student you said?
right there.
Right there.
Okay.
They have they have 15 minutes and I'm gonna knock at 7, or I'm gonna knock at 15 and they're done at 17. So, and
Here's the first one.
all right,
Okay.
and I'm gonna knock on the
Y'all got
table.
this.
And we're ready.
Are you staying in here?
Yeah, I got time.
Okay.
And make sure it's
Okay.
running. Make sure we don't.
You still want feedback on these?
Yes.
Okay.
Just don't call it. Come in.
Hi, how's it going?
Good,
Randy,
I'm ready.
Cooper Creek, West Fleet Division.
Hey,
How's it going so far?
it's Friday, time to get the heck out of here for the weekend.
No doubt, I'm with you. Well, thanks for taking the time to meet with me.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot about you. I'm glad to finally meet you in person. Again, I appreciate your time. I know it's valuable. I know that we may not be meeting for the greatest of reasons. I'd heard that there was some incidents we were concerned about.
Yeah.
I did have a chance to meet with John, and I kind of, before we jumped into anything that you had for me today, I told him that I would take notes in our meeting and
Mhm.
then give you a little recap, so we started from a fresh, same plate.
Sure.
Sound good? So, in that meeting, we talked a little bit about rewards programs, we talked about Speedco and Tire Pass. But with that, we kind of established that there had been some issues in the past with a couple of these a couple specific
Yeah.
locations. And I had assured John that we were gonna go ahead and I was gonna personally, hold myself accountable to make sure I called those people. And I'm sorry, ensuring that those situations are taken care of, we're improving, and we're holding ourselves to the same standard that you would expect us to. So,
Yeah, well, and that's great, but I'll be honest with you, the reason why I really wanted to meet with you was a couple things, a couple of issues that still haven't been completely resolved.
okay,
You're aware of that load from Tyson,
Yes, sir.
that because of your Speedco being negligent on there, cost us a whole load.
Yes,
That,
sir.
and it took 90 days for you guys to get back with us to pay us only half of what you owe us.
Half.
Yeah, we got half of it.
Okay.
And so there's another $100,000 that's owed to us from that. And then the other issue is that, Tyson's our largest shipper.
Sure.
And they were really pissed.
Right.
And bad timing, it was over 4th of July, and I get all that stuff. But the problem is that I had to charter a plane to fly up to Fayetteville
Yeah, I heard
to
about
basically kiss people's butt just so that they don't throw us out of there.
Absolutely.
So which cost me some more money too. So that's probably another $30,000.
Okay.
So when I look at this, it's, $130,000 just, that's out of our pocket that I had to spend just so that we can continue doing business. People, we've been doing business a long time. Our name's on the trucks, my name's on there, our livelihood's on there. And so, it's great that our drivers like your stops and you have a good relationship with people it loves, but bottom line for us is, that's a lot of revenue. And
Absolutely.
Tyson's, looking at, moving there with their business as well to another shipper,
Okay.
besides us. And, and because a lot of their stuff goes into Walmart. And so now if you go into Pilgrim's Pride, handling it. So, we gotta make sure that gets fixed, taken care of.
Absolutely. I know that, I think it's Jason that you went and talked
Mm-hmm.
to at Tyson, right?
I think so.
Okay.
Well, a lot of people, I've talked to a lot of people at Tyson, yeah.
Gotcha. So with that, personally, again, I'm gonna tell you just the way I told John. I want to take personal responsibility to, on our end, going back to those specific speed codes, higher pass locations that causes like deliveries.
Yeah,
And hold them accountable to our standard. We have a standard that we want to make sure we're communicating. And I made calls to a location in Little Rock,
Mhm.
just like John had told me to, and we got on them about the standard. So
Gotcha.
I want to
Okay.
ask you if since then, I know this happened in July.
Yep.
What does your business look like with Love's? I mean, has it been better aside from obviously the financial part? Well, we can hop into that.
yeah, I mean, I would say, I don't think we've sent any more, of our trucks to that particular location.
Okay.
But I mean, overall, I would say it's been okay, yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
just that location that you've been using speed
We have,
codes and maintenance around.
And again, I'm not, the Gilbert and John, they deal with a lot of that type of stuff,
Okay.
the higher level stuff. So I mean, my assumption is, yeah, they're continuing to use Lowe's.
Great. So I did have an agenda coming in here today. I know we kind of had to talk about some of these issues
Mhm.
right up front, but one of the pieces on the agenda that I think is relevant right now is I want to understand a little bit about you and
Yeah.
your specific role. Again, I've got to talk to Gilbert and John about theirs, so
One's easy, I own the place.
no doubt. So you're running them, right?
But yeah,
Okay.
yeah, no, I mean, I own this, I own it. So, so these high level type things are problems for me,
Absolutely.
because again, our company name's on the trucks.
Mhm.
And these mishaps happen out of love. So, I definitely would expect that I get paid back in full, and
Absolutely.
including the cost that I had to endure by chartering a plane to fly to
Sure.
Fayetteville.
Yeah, so I don't get to handle our insurance.
Mhm.
I'm sure you could guess, but I will make sure that I take that.
I mean, when you think that seems like something reasonable, it's a reasonable ask for me.
I would 100% think that that's reasonable.
Yeah.
I don't know who exactly handled your particular incident. But
Yeah.
I took notes of it.
It took them 90 days just to get
The
back the
fact that
first
they
time.
haven't paid you
And-
the second half of it,
Right.
that's, to me, that's huge. I have to have a relationship, get to have a relationship with you. I want to make sure it's
Yeah.
perfect.
Well, yeah, it's going to be important.
Right.
Yeah, because you asked about me. The other things that I'm looking to do is be a consultant to some smaller fleets.
Okay.
And want to be able to offer like a factoring type offering that I could refer them to you guys.
Okay.
The Loves, I know you guys have factoring.
Right.
But I'm going to want a percentage of the profit.
Okay. We can see what that looks like. I can't guarantee you that. That's not really necessarily my department, but we can have that conversation.
Are you familiar with the factoring and stuff that you guys have?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you a little bit about it because I'd be basically being a consultant for small fleets.
Yeah.
Pushing your program, just taking a percentage of the profit.
Well, that's a great goal. I mean, our factoring program is like basically a line of credit that allows you guys to get the money up front with no fees attached quickly.
Yeah.
As opposed to, I know it took you 90 days to get.
Well, that was from the claim. Yeah.
Right. But for this specific thing, we're talking about getting money within 24 hours.
Mhm.
How do you think that would benefit those companies?
Oh, I think they'd love it. Yeah, I do. I think there's a lot of fleets out there that need it.
Great.
And that's why I think, and I have a lot of influence, and that's why I think I could get a lot of fleets to do it.
Yeah.
And so it would help Loves get more business, and then of course I want my percent of the profit.
Sure. Well, I'll just let you hold on to that even after this meeting, just so you have some details on it. That's what our factoring looks like. And I think we'd love to make something happen where we are getting handed some consulting firm, some of the people you're consulting for this factoring program. That's a great opportunity for both of us. So
There you go.
I'll take that to my manager and see what that looks like. Again, I don't know.
I would make sure
Have
that
it
the
back in.
consideration is the $135,000 that you still owe me for.
I think that's important as well.
But what's going to be important if I'm going to utilize you guys and give my leads to you, that'll be important.
Right. Well, respectfully, it's important to me to make sure that you and I have a great relationship.
Right.
And I don't think we get there without fixing this.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not here a lot. I mean, Gilbert and John are the day-to-day guys. I don't really plan on being at the office every day.
Mhm.
So it's good that when we meet, we have these things and kind of dialed in. But
Absolutely.
when I make decisions for the company and what we're going to do long term, these are the things I'm thinking about, and Loves wants to be a part of it. Everything's gotta be right.
So I know that we talked a little bit about the incident that happened on the 4th of July. You
Mhm.
mentioned that you're still using Speedco and PM services with us.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think that we can solve the issue with the specific location that we had?
Well, you told me you
talked about?
did, so
Right.
I'm assuming that you did.
Yeah, I'm getting more towards, do you feel more comfortable after having this conversation with me that location can be used by you and be served at a standard that it's
Yeah,
acceptable?
if you told me that, you told me you had a conversation with them.
Absolutely.
And so that you feel confident, so I guess what I'd say is we'll try it again, and if I have a problem, we're gonna call you.
I would hope you call me.
Yeah.
And again, I'll leave you my information.
Okay.
So my digital business card after this. So
Great.
We're good to go. With that, are there any goals? So second part of my agenda, I want to understand some goals that you have for yourself, for John and Gilbert, and for the company.
Well, my goal is to continue to grow, make as much money as possible.
Okay.
And I think, be profitable, have, and maybe someday be as big as Swift and, Knight and all those other companies that are out there.
Sure.
And so I think there's a lot of ways to go about doing it, and it's a family business. And so, I have in my mind how this consulting can help us make more money, get more involved in smaller fleets. So, I mean, that's my goal, is to make money.
So besides the, getting into the consulting piece of it, how are you going about making sure you guys are making more money?
Well, hopefully everything gets delivered on time, and I don't get stuck with $130,000 bills.
Right.
Can't afford many of those. So making sure that, Gilbert and John are doing their job, and everything happens on time. So you gotta hire the right people.
Absolutely.
But the right thing's gotta get done. And so, honestly, it's just, we gotta be efficient.
Okay.
And so if we're efficient, we're gonna be profitable.
Great. And outside of the incident we already talked about, have you experienced any problems in being as efficient as you possibly can be?
I mean, that pertains to Loves. I think they've already been addressed by you guys. I mean, I think I've heard about some retread issues, and I think Gilbert and you talked about that.
Yes, we did.
And ensured that wouldn't happen again. So, I'm comfortable continuing to try it.
Great. And so we talked about as pertains to Loves. What about as pertains to you? With the efficiency, again, we're talking about achieving your goals now.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if we can continue to stay on time and do these kinds of things, that we'll continue to grow and be efficient.
So.
But there's competitors out there. You have competitors, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So, I mean, I can bring them information too, and give them leads as well. But I'd like to give you guys an opportunity first. John speaks very highly of you and knows Caleb.
I appreciate that.
But frankly, to me, I just gotta make more money.
Yeah, well, I want to help you make more money, to be honest with you. So I appreciate you giving us the opportunity first, and I'm going to make sure that we handle this $130,000 that we need to get.
I appreciate that.
Right. So with that being said, we talked a little bit about your efficiency. Are there any inconveniences on anything else that we could help with as far as making you maximize your efficiency?
No, just make sure that we don't have any of the issues going forward with, trucks having blowouts and being stuck at speed kills with oil changes, and certainly, again, can't have your mechanic mess up my trailer,
Right.
cause all that damage.
Absolutely.
As far as for the load. So as long as that doesn't happen, we're good.
Right.
And again, I just want that taken care of. It'll definitely make me feel a lot better about our long-term relationship. And again, I'm looking at bringing you business as a consulting side of it, on this factoring side, as long as I get my percentage of the profit.
Well, like I said, I'll work on that on my end. I don't
Okay.
know what that exactly looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Can't guarantee it because I'm not in charge of it, but I'll take it up to him just like I told you I would.
Okay.
And I'll be a man of my word in that aspect.
Appreciate that.
Moving forward, I want to make sure that, do you have any questions? I handed you that paper. Do you have any questions about our factoring? I know you said that.
No, I mean, I've looked into it. I've got some information about it. It seems pretty straightforward. It seems like a good program. It seems like something fleets would like. And I think with my influence, I think I could get people signed up for you.
Well, I appreciate you being willing to leverage that influence for us, and I hope we are able to move forward and both be profitable out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I know at the end of my last meeting with John that I had sent over some things about Milo's rewards, and he was especially concerned with the driver satisfaction,
Yeah.
turnover, and things like that. Did you have a chance to look at that?
No, I hear every day how much the drivers love your stops.
Okay.
I mean, I don't need to look at a pamphlet for that. They'll
Right.
love it.
Yeah.
They do love your stops and you guys do a great job. But at the end of the day, if it costs me money by doing business with Loves, I mean, that's how I'm in business,
Yeah.
right?
We
So
wanna make it money.
I think you guys do a great job with the drivers, but at the end of the day, it comes to dollars and cents.
Yeah.
And if it costs me more money to go to Loves, then it doesn't matter if my drivers are happy or not, I gotta stay in business.
Right.
So, but no, you guys do a good job with that, but, everything's gotta get taken care of on my end.
Okay. And in the last meeting with John as well, we had talked a little bit about how you were utilizing Speedco, utilizing our PM services, but you were also bringing them back. You wanted to see your own trucks every once in a while. Is that
That's
still the case?
It is,
Okay. And so you're having your own mechanics and things do your oil changes and things
Yeah.
from time to time.
but we still do them over the road from time to time with utilize you and TA, even your competitor, TA.
Absolutely. Okay.
We'll do some work with them as well. It's impossible to get them all back here.
Right. I understand that.
Yeah.
So what is that? Have you had any issues or inconveniences with using your own people to do those tasks such as oil changes and basic preventive?
I mean, it's hard to hire people.
Right.
It helps hard to find.
Sure.
Yeah.
And what is that looking like, costing you time wise and money wise as far as hiring those mechanics?
No, it's a fortune because then they rip you off half the time when you hire them. So that's tough. I'm sure you
Yeah.
guys do the same thing.
Well, I mean, it's mechanics all across the board, right? We want to try to get the best people, but there's
Yeah.
such a volume we have to have at the same time. Yeah, I understand that. So if you continue to have these issues with the costs you may have associated to some of these maintenance and mechanics, what would that do for your company?
Well, if the cost goes up, I mean, our equipment will start failing because we won't be able to keep it in as good a shape and
Right.
do the PMs as often. Yeah, I mean, we got to maintain good, safe equipment.
Yeah.
And equipment that will definitely get them from point A to point B. Otherwise, people keep them stranded on the side of the road. That'll be a big problem. And so maintenance is very important.
Gotcha. So I mean, if there was a way that we could show you how Speedco and our preventative maintenance could take some of that cost off you and make sure that when you're hiring mechanics, they're focused on some major issues such as engine failures and things like that we can't necessarily handle at a PM service. Is that something you'd be interested in
Sure.
talking about moving towards?
Yeah.
Great. Well, I'll show you a little bit about our Speedco. I know you use it. I know you utilize it. We do have 63 locations across the states, and with that being said, it's more than just your one location you're bringing back home, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you were able to utilize Speedco for the simple services, how do you think that could improve your bottom line?
Well, as long as that it can be done as cheaper than I do it in-house, obviously it would be great on my bottom line.
Okay, if we can make that happen for you, is that something you want to
Of course.
move forward with?
Yeah, but I think that's something you take up with Gilbert or John,
Okay,
frankly.
I can do that.
I don't get in the weeds with this stuff.
Sure. Well, I'll take notes on that and make sure we're all good to go. And I'll talk to John about maybe making sure we can streamline that process for you, maybe save you some money.
There you go, discounts are good.
Yeah, I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. I'm gonna leave you my business card and make
Okay.
sure we're good to go moving forward. Again, I want to be that guy for you.
Let me know about that 130,000, I'll be looking for it.
I'm gonna go, I mean, that's priority A for me right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna go fix that and fix this relationship for sure.
No problem,
I
good.
appreciate you.
All right, thanks for coming in,
Thanks so
have a
much.
good day.
You too. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
You told me it was 20.
I did not tell you it was 20. God. I did not tell you that.
You did. It's okay. Thank you, guys.
This water, I'm not thirsty.
Yeah, I almost drank that.
We can get you a scalpel to get all the arrows out of your back for this week. Wow. All right, I'm gonna go see where the next one is. And,
Am I still sitting there?
yep. you're- Hmm?
This is why Complex is the mean guy, by the way.
This one?
This is why I get.
I'm seeing.
No, but you test them. You also,
Oh, this was. Mhm.
Or less. It won't take long to see. Okay. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, come in.
How are we doing today, Mr. Timms?
Good.
Robert Choate, Fleet Sales Representative, Loves. It's a
Good,
pleasure to
sir.
meet you.
Yeah.
So, as you know, I've had the opportunity to go ahead and speak with Jill and John already regarding some of the experiences they've been having within their specific roles and how that's been affecting your company as a whole with your interactions with Love's travel stops. And that being said, I want to go ahead and address the elephant in the room here. We're well aware of the incident that happened now on the 4th of July.
Yeah.
And I just want to go ahead and moving forward with that, say that while I can't reimburse you for the lost time and for the financial burdens that you guys inherited as a result of our negligence at Love's, what I can guarantee to you is my word and Love's promise to rebuild and re-strengthen that relationship with you so you guys see the value in trusting us and continuing to work with us going forward in the future. And more importantly, to restore that time for you to have to be able to spend with your family.
So hang on a second, back up.
Yes,
So
sir.
you're not gonna reimburse me the other $100,000?
So at the current moment, I'm gonna collect some information on this meeting, and my job as the fleet sales representative is gonna be to analyze this information and see if I can do that for you.
Mhm. So did they make it clear what happened exactly that day?
I would like to hear from you personally, just to make sure that we're on the same page going forward with that. And before we do that anymore, this is gonna be my contact card.
Okay.
So you have any other additional questions, please reach out to me after
Sure.
this.
Yeah, well, I know how you handle, no matter whether I reach out to you or not, but, so I thought we made it very clear, so we had a truck July 4th.
Mhm.
That was, we were delivered for Tyson. Yeah, at the Little Rock location, it stopped, we had to have a coil replaced on the trailer.
Mhm.
Got replaced 45 minutes down the road, it broke down again. This time, it broke and the entire load of frozen chicken became non-frozen chicken. Meaning it was a whole waste of a load, which is $200,000 that we got charged back from Tyson. And so it took 90 days for your insurance department to get back to me, and they only reimbursed me 100,000 of the 200,000. Subsequently, so because all this happened in July 4th, okay, I'm trying to have fun, I'm on my boat,
Understandable.
and Tyson is our largest shipper. So I had to charter a plane, a jet, to fly up to Fayetteville to kiss butt just to keep the account. And that cost me like $35,000 to do that. Again, I'm on a holiday, supposed to be with my family. Instead, I'm dealing with the fact because your guy can't put the coil on right.
Mhm.
And so now you're telling me, you're only gonna pay for half of it? And I mean, frankly, I was gonna tell you, I also expected you to pay for my charter flight,
Mhm.
my $35,000 for that. Because without Tyson, I mean, that's my largest shipper. And Tyson's telling me that because of it, this continues to happen, they're gonna lose the Walmart business, will go to Pilgrim's Pride. And then so now Tyson's blaming me for it. And this is all started with a problem that you guys created.
Correct.
So, I mean, I can tell you, if you want anything to move forward, it kind of has to start with that. Because I have other ideas and I have other things that I think I can do that could be beneficial to Love's.
Mhm.
But that's gonna be very important. and what you can do in the future really don't mean crap if you don't take care of what happened in the past.
Correct. Okay, so during your time and you're speaking with John, did he fill you on everything that we discussed in regards to how we're gonna be moving forward with our service center locations to ensure that none of this is gonna be happening with the refrigerated?
Yep.
You did, okay.
Yep.
And what was your sort of impression on that?
Well, hopefully it was an isolated incident.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, he definitely, and I know him and Caleb's your boss, and that's right. They're good friends and all, and that's fine. Our drivers like to use Loves. They love the rewards. They love all the stuff that you guys do, and that's great. But I'm in business to make money, not lose money. So I can't be dropping $130,000 here and there just to keep my biggest customer.
Mhm.
So, yeah, they talked about all those things, and I think we use you guys mostly for most things over the road,
Mhm.
and mostly on fuel. But I've got some ideas too, how I can help bring you more business as well, but I'm not gonna do that if I got this $130,000 thing all hold over my head here.
Most definitely not. And right now, the importance today is understanding how we're gonna fix how we've wronged you in the past.
Mhm.
And then in the future, that's something else that we can talk about with what you guys have to offer us. But right now, my primary focus is to reinstitute that faith and that trust in us as your family and as someone that you can rely on.
Sure.
So that being said, aside from the incidents with the trucks where you guys were not able to deliver your Tysons to the Walmart in Fayetteville,
Yeah.
are there any other pressing issues that would be stopping you from wanting to continue to partner with us?
Not a pressing issue, but it's an idea that I have that I think would benefit us both.
And what might that be, sir?
So understand you guys have a factory division?
Correct.
Is that correct? So do you know a lot about it?
I know a good amount about it.
Okay.
I'm able to answer your questions about it.
Good. So my idea is this, I have a lot of influence with smaller carriers.
Mhm.
And so I think that I can be a consultant to them
Okay,
and push them your way to start factoring with Loves.
gotcha.
But of course, I'm gonna want my percent
Mhm.
of the profit.
And so having this factoring done for you, this is.
I don't need it for me.
Okay,
I've got a lot of money.
yeah, for your
Well,
company.
I'm $130,000 less, but I've got plenty of money. What I can do is I can offer up your factoring services
Mhm.
to the fleets that I know, and so be like as a consultant, which would bring you guys the business.
Mhm.
I just want a percentage of the profit.
Correct, okay, and that's definitely something that we can address going forward and maybe another meeting, but I think the pressing issue right here is getting a solution for you guys with the refrigerator and like the refrigerator problem that we had and addressing the situation that we had at our service center.
Yeah.
And that being said, the implications of that, obviously, you guys lost a bunch of money, you lost the opportunity cost of being able to service other places, take other shipments, deliver them, and more importantly, you lost the opportunity cost in spending time with your family.
There you go.
And so going forward, we are able to correct these services. What would that mean for our partnership and your view of us as a whole?
Would mean we'd continue on.
You continue on with it?
Yeah.
So just being able to
absolutely.
correct
Continue to
that, we'd be good to go?
That, and then my idea, I'm interested in your thoughts on my idea on this factoring idea. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm definitely interested in hearing that, and we can definitely dive deeper into that, maybe like as I'm doing the product, information and demonstration for you.
Mhm.
And definitely cover that. I can answer any questions you have about our specific factoring. But right now I want to go ahead and focus on how we're going to maintain to solidify your confidence in us at these stops, because that is a one-off incident that happened to us. I talked to John about that. I went into the Little Rock, Arkansas location, and we can pull up the reports of all the employees who are working at those locations and sort of identify who's working, what they're doing, what they replaced, and what went wrong, all through our Loves Connect portal. That'd be something I can show you right here, right now, sir.
Mhm.
So on the Loves Connect portal, what we have right here is a full access, full inclusive dashboard that has everything up here that you need from your fuel dashboard, the truck care center, document center, which is going to show all the maintenance stuff that's going on, all the servicing, and the person who'd be working there. So I went there, pulled up this information, saw who the employee was, went in and spoke with him. We gave the rundown, and we had to reprimand him for what had happened there.
I'd fire him.
Yep. So that's not under my jurisdiction there, but we definitely had that conversation with him and the conversation about how that's unacceptable there. And this has been a one-off instance with us. I know you guys had also mentioned in the previous meeting that the oil change service had not been as adequate or as,
Yeah, I think there was an incident
efficient.
in Nevada somewhere, like
Yeah.
it was somebody was on her phone for 45 minutes or something.
Correct.
John told me, I mean, listen, I run a business, it's hard to find good help. I
Mhm.
mean, it's hard as hell. So I get it.
It definitely is, but our commitment at Loves is to be the most trusted name in the business and the most trusted name in the industry and solidify your trust in us So having those employees that are, maybe it's just a one-off instance, but that's gonna throw you guys off, and that's gonna throw off your faith in our ability to deliver the solutions and the stuff that you guys need. So that being said, we went in and we developed this thing called the Academy, which is gonna institute a 5-week course of cross-training into our management systems in the Love store and at the service center. So what this does during this 5-week course, it skills them in all the technical elements of preventative maintenance and everything that they would have to do within Speedco. And it allows for a cross functionality whenever there is a lot of people coming into our Speedco. We don't have the hands on deck. Someone can come immediately from the back end of the store. The manager will be called over and they're certified to assist you and to fix the problems that need to be taken care of.
That's great.
Is that like more reassuring in terms of
Sure.
being able to get in and get out like that?
It seems like a really good idea.
Yeah, and then in terms of the reimbursement side,
Mhm.
with what I'm available to do is I'm available to go in and I'm available to speak with all the people who have been working and to address this and to increase the efficiency of our workers. But as of right now, I will have to go in and check with Caleb to see if we can get you guys any more of that reimbursement.
I definitely, I mean, it's important. If you want to, you're asking about moving forward, like,
Correct.
if that doesn't happen, then we won't.
So what could I do today in this moment to move forward with you?
Well, besides write a check for $130,000.
Besides write a check for
Which I don't think you have
$130,000.
on you. If you do, we'd have already done that. I mean, I think, understanding what I want to do with the factoring side
Mhm.
and understanding that's the way I'm going to make profit, but I'm also going to make you profitable.
Correct.
Make sure you understand that.
So what do you want to do with the factoring side?
So what I want to do is give you the leads,
Okay,
for your factoring sales teams at the close and then, take a percentage of the profit.
okay. And so with this, how many invoices are you expecting to have factored?
Good question. So I know a lot of people, and everybody knows me.
Mhm.
So I mean, I think I could probably give you 30, 40 leads a week,
30 to 40, okay.
which are probably, they're probably doing, heck, I don't know, couple of hundred of that. So I mean, you're looking at probably 1,000 invoices a week.
Okay. And percentage wise, what are you looking to allocate for yourself for your company with this?
I would say 25% of the profit.
25% of the profit? Okay. And is there anything else within these stipulations, like purely speculative number wise right here,
Mhm.
that you have an idea of? You mentioned 30 to 40 loads a week, about 25% of the profit.
Yeah.
What are you expecting for the return times?
Well, I mean, it says on your thing that you can pay them like almost instantly,
You
right?
can.
And so, I mean, I would be fine if you just paid me once a month.
Pay you once a month?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I would figure at the rate and at the number I could get you, I would just suspect that you guys could probably write me a check for a couple $100,000 a month.
Okay, so that is definitely something we can do and we can work out the exact logistics. But what I want to go ahead and do today is ask you, we can take care of this for you. We can partner with you for the factoring and solidify your trust in the ability to service your vehicles, to keep them going from point A to point B so you don't run into another one of those Tyson situations.
Yeah.
Would that solidify us and our partnership going forward?
Yes,
It would?
as long as I get a check for $130,000.
Well, I cannot guarantee
I know
you a
you
check
can.
for $130,000, but I can guarantee you a meeting with my supervisor who can work out the details with you.
That's fair.
Is there anything else today that you would need to see?
No.
No, not today. All right, then let's go ahead and set up this meeting. I'm gonna contact Caleb and his supervisor as well, who can get in contact, and I will get you guys in contact
Mhm.
with this factoring information. You can set it up, work through that, and going forward, I look forward to
Yeah.
restoring the faith that you have in
I would
us.
definitely like to get the factory thing set up, but I'm not gonna do anything
Yeah.
until we get an answer on this 130,000.
Okay.
Okay.
That sounds good to me. So let's go ahead and get another meeting set up then. How does Wednesday next week at 4 p.m. sound?
You tell me, because you're the one that needs to go back and be able to give me an answer. whether
Okay.
I pay the 130,000, so you tell me when you want.
We'll go ahead and book next Wednesday at 4 p.m. I'll
So
have your
bye.
answer for you then.
Okay,
I'll have communicated with everybody that I need to. I'm gonna have an answer for you right then and there.
very good, that's what I need.
So let's plan on speaking then.
Okay,
Thank you very much
Awesome.
for your time.
thanks, Robert.
Gosh. Threw me through a loop, man. Holy cow.
Still alive, Robert.
Yeah, we're still screaming here.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, buddy. I will be back. Yeah, come in.
Hi, Mr. Timms.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Sandy Woodley, Fleet Sales Representative with Loves. Thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate you
Yeah.
meeting with me.
No problem.
You know, before we get started, I just gotta say, I'm honored to be here with you today. I know, I saw an article online that you were instrumental in helping your drivers and your fleet during the COVID pandemic, especially
Mhm.
helping deliver loads. And I just think that's a real testament to your character and to how you run your company. I
Right.
think that's fantastic.
Yeah, well, thank you. I mean, a lot of people in trucking did the same thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Trucking moves America.
Absolutely. You guys are the
Yeah.
backbone of everything we
When
do.
everybody's staying at home, we still gotta move.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I do want to be mindful of your time. I know
Yeah.
it's a 15 to 17-minute meeting. Is that still okay for
Sure,
today?
should be.
Okay. Well, during that time, what I wanted to talk about the future of WFX and how Loves can get you there.
Mhm.
What we can do for you, how we can be, the road to your wheels. How can
Yeah.
we move with you into the future?
Mhm.
Is there anything specific that you wanted to touch on today? That
There
we
is.
can discuss?
There is. So
Okay.
there's two things. One, I do have an idea for the future,
Okay.
that will help us both.
Mhm.
But to be honest with you, I don't want to move forward with that, although we can talk about it until we get the first thing taken care of,
Absolutely.
which was, I believe you had a meeting with John,
I did.
and he talked about that Tyson load.
Yes.
And so my understanding is there's still $100,000 that hasn't been paid yet, is my understanding, that you guys are holding with us. And the other thing was, and John didn't bring this up because frankly, I was, in the moment, I was so pissed, I forgot. But, happened during July 4th, I had to charter a jet. I was supposed to be on the lake, drinking and having fun. And instead, I had to get on a plane and fly to Fayetteville, Arkansas, to meet with Tyson. Because again, they're our largest shipper. They're who we're doing most business with. Well, they're threatening to pull our account. Obviously, there's a whole load of chicken that was supposed to be delivered into Walmart for them through us. Didn't make it.
Right.
And they're a very competitive world. And Walmart's looking at maybe going to Pilgrim's Pride, which in turn would mean Tyson would lose Walmart's business. I'm going to lose Tyson's business. Huge problem.
Absolutely.
So not only am I still out the other 100,000, it was a $200,000 claim. I'm still out the 100,000. I'm still out the claim, out the 35,000, just what I had to pay to charter a plane.
Right.
Not to mention the time that I spent away from my family and having fun.
Yeah.
And so, I personally think that needs to be taken care of.
Absolutely.
And so I'm really disappointed that hasn't happened. I do have another business idea, how we can move things forward, but
Okay.
I'm not gonna move forward with anybody that basically, what I look at still owes me 130,000.
Absolutely. And I wouldn't expect you to want to either. We're here for you and I want to be that support for you. After my meeting with John, actually, I did follow up with our insurance policy team and we're in the works on that. And I really do want to get you more information on how we can.
Okay.
See, I can't promise anything, but we can at least see what we can do there and work together on that.
Well, they're not aware of the we'll call it $33,000 for my jet.
Okay.
So that definitely needs to be included.
Okay. Okay. Well, I can't guarantee, like I said, that we would be able to give that to you, but as far as the insurance money goes and the claims that you guys put in, we can see if there's anything we can do in regards to that. And also, just to clarify, I remember John mentioned that it was a Speedco where the refrigerator, it was the evaporator core, is that correct?
Exactly. That's right.
Okay, so I did talk to John about this as well, and actually since our meeting, I have addressed that specific location, and that same technician who did actually, work on that truck, he's actually in the middle of our 5-week training program right now.
Well, that's good.
For our Loves Academy down in Texas, so we're in the middle of training him up, and same for everyone at that location, to make sure that nothing like that ever happens again. I'd love to give you more details about our Loves Academy. It's a new program that we started, like I said, with our technicians are actually flown to Texas and we train them to make sure that you're getting the best of the best so that you have that assurance for the future and down the line.
Yeah.
That'll never happen again.
It's good. Pay for their flights, make sure you pay for mine.
Well, like I said, we can definitely work with the insurance policy, but and then we can go from there. But just hearing that we have our Loves Academy and we are taking these steps, does that provide you any comfort?
Obviously it can't happen again.
Absolutely.
And so, no, listen, I know good help's hard to find, right?
Yeah.
I have mechanics, I have multiple terminals, I've got a lot of people that work for me.
Right.
Some of them, aren't the best in the world, I get it.
Yeah.
But what's important is that you stand by the work that you did.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, I mean, it sounds like you guys are definitely on the right path on training people. But again, I'm still out this money.
Right,
So we gotta get that taken care of.
okay,
But I mean, I know the drivers like going to you, Chief Loves. I know John's good friends with your boss Caleb, I think it is his
Yeah,
name.
that's right.
Go on trips and stuff together and all that stuff is fine and great, but, you know, I'm running a business and I
Right.
can't afford to be out $130,000 every 4th of July.
right.
So, so I need to make sure that's taken care of. That's great if you have those academies. You know, again, I have another way where Loves can make some more money with
Okay,
my help.
okay,
But again, I'm not gonna help you guys unless you guys help me first. So I would say, whoever you need to talk to, make sure that they understand I'm out the 133,000.
absolutely, absolutely. And I just want to assure you, I did extend this to John as well.
Mhm.
But anything you need, you have my number. I
Yeah.
want to be your point person. You
Yeah.
give me a call if you have any of these issues ever again,
Mhm.
anything like that, because that is unacceptable. It is
Right.
absolutely.
Well, it took 90 days for your company to get back to me, just to tell me that they're only gonna pay half of it.
Wow, wow. Yeah, I do apologize. Like I said, I have been looking into that and
Mhm.
they're in the works on that end of things.
Mhm.
But as far as any other issues, I just want to let you know I'm here for you. We're a family company. We want to treat you like family. I don't want you to feel like you have, you're kind of on your own. We want
Right.
to be your support for you.
Well, that's great, but there are competitors out there. I mean, you know, you have
Absolutely.
competitors that we could send business to. Our drivers prefer to go to Love's. I know, again, John likes to do business at Love's. I don't want to change our business,
Mhm.
but again, I'm in business to make money,
Yeah,
not just for charity.
okay. And I believe, I wouldn't be here today if I wasn't passionate about what it is that we do. So I firmly believe Loves can save you money too, and I'd love to talk more about that. But before we go into that, you mentioned that you have some ideas as
I
far
do.
as the future. Can we
Yeah.
pivot and talk about that a
I,
little bit?
I would. So, you're familiar with your factoring that you do?
Yes. Mhm.
So I have a lot of influence. A lot of people know me, been around a long time. And so I have a lot of influence and friends, that have smaller trucking companies.
Okay.
And so I've looked at your factoring. And so what I think I could do for you is I could act as a consultant, to some of these small carriers
Okay.
and give you guys business on factoring. So in other words, give you leads, for your factoring.
Okay.
And then I would just want a percentage of the profit.
Okay. Okay, that's an interesting idea. Could you tell me a little bit more about how that would work?
Sure. I mean, people know me, very well and they're gonna typically follow what I do. Right? And
Right.
so, I would tell these fleets to utilize Love's factoring. I would, you know, whoever your rep is, I don't know if that's you or somebody else that loves it to handle this, and get them to sign up for factoring with Love's.
Yeah.
And, which you guys, I'm sure would make your money on it, which would be great. It's fine. And
Yeah.
then, of course, I'll want my percentage of it as well.
Okay. Okay, I do know, as far as the partnership of percentages and doing all that, we really have to look at the details of that and all that that would entail. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's a couple of things, right?
Sure.
A lot of moving parts there.
It's pretty
But-
simple though. I send them to you and I get 25% of the profit.
Wow, okay. I'm not at the level to be able to make
Mhm.
decisions or calls on that, but I'd love to talk more, maybe with Caleb and a
Yeah.
couple others in regards to what that partnership could potentially look like in the
Right.
future. But I do know, of course, from my experience, it's usually Loves directly to the consumer
Mhm.
without the.
Yeah, but these people they know me better than they know you.
Right, right, absolutely. Well, like I said, I would love to kind of go deeper into that, maybe, the details on percentages, and that's a whole nother conversation,
Sure.
right? And I know we don't have all that time today
Right.
to go over those details, and that'll be a really fine line to walk, right?
Okay.
As far as working with Loves, the future of WFX, what would you need to see today for you to be comfortable moving forward with a partnership between WFX and Loves, and maybe even increase business? How can we partner with you for decades to come?
We don't, we still buy some tires and do
Right.
some PMs from other people besides you.
Mhm.
You get most of our fuel, not only necessarily because of the price, but because our drivers like the rewards program.
Okay.
You know, so we could certainly give you more volume, on some of these other things, in the future. And I'm looking to expand that. I'll probably add another 100 trucks in the next year.
Okay, I remember John mentioned that
Yeah.
as well.
So that's
Yes.
still the goal to do that. So, I mean, we'll add more business.
Mhm.
So all that stuff would be positive for both of us, right?
Right.
I would suspect you could offer me better deals, as I get bigger.
Right.
But I hate to keep going back to this, but if I don't get my 133,000, none of this other matters.
Right. Yeah.
Just being honest.
Well, I can assure you that we definitely will look at that because like I said, you're a family. You are, without you guys, we aren't here. We
Right.
appreciate you. And so we definitely can work together on that to find a solution and come to a firm point. In regards to your expansion and your growth, you mentioned that you guys loves and use us for most of your fuels. I'm not sure if you're aware, but we actually bundle a lot of our products.
Okay.
So fueling, whether it's the tires, retreads, the tire pass, you can actually bundle all of that and into one big lump, basically, and that would actually save you money. I know you said you use other things, but using Loves, we can actually discount your price across the board
Okay,
for your fueling costs at least.
Great.
And work together to kind of continue, just whatever we can do to make life
Okay.
easier for you, right, on the road. So out of all the things that we've kind of talked about today, I know it's a lot, let's just take a step back. What's kind of the most important thing for you moving forward with Loves in regards to what you would need to see?
what do you think it is?
Of course, it's the 133,000.
There you
Absolutely.
go. Good
And that
answer.
is something that we will absolutely address,
Mhm.
looking forward
Yeah,
out of, the discount rates. Would you say that that's something that
that's
is
important,
most
sure.
important to you?
Yeah, I mean, as we continue to add more volume, knowing that we're gonna continue to get a better deal the more we buy, that's
Absolutely.
very important to me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and again, the revenue also that I can gain from this factoring, giving you business with factoring,
Okay.
that's gonna help me grow.
Right, absolutely. And like I said, the factoring and as far as the insurance goes, that might be another discussion with a lot more details in it.
Mhm.
But if in the next couple minutes, I'm able to show you kind of how we can be your support as you grow, show you how we can bundle with you, help you save money, would you be willing to kind of make an agreement now to move forward into the future together?
As long as,
Yeah, the 133,000,
there you
absolutely.
go, you're catching on, you're catching
Okay.
on.
All right, well, let me go ahead and pull this out for you
Mhm.
here. This is just something I wanted to demonstrate first, is I know you guys are growing a lot as a company. So I
Nice
just want,
car.
the car, yes, it's our little,
That's your company car?
yeah, I love Buggy here. So here are all our current Love's locations. Oops, excuse me here. We have 516 locations, but every time I print one of these off or I put it in a PowerPoint, we add more just to show that we're bringing that value to you. We are all over the country. This is just something that I gained from your website, your current primary runs that you go on, and can you see here how we have coverage on all of your current routes
I see that.
and how that might benefit you in the future. So by using Love's exclusively, by committing to us that you'll give us the fuel, by bundling that with, maybe retreads, maybe tire pass, all of that, we can actually, and you mentioned you sometimes fuel other places, we can actually lower your fleet's costs entirely. So not only are your drivers able to stop in at a Love's, use their My Love's rewards point, take their dog from the wolf pack that you guys have to the dog park. You can free drinks, free showers, while also making sure the tire pass lanes, they have their reports. You have that assurance from your drivers as well.
Right.
Can you see how partnering with Love's not only would save you money, but be a benefit to your drivers for years to come?
For sure. I mean, and it's easy because my drivers want to go to Love's. But I think that knowing that you have locations where we are at as we grow, as long as there's an incentive for us and for me, then yeah, I mean, that's very positive.
Absolutely. So an incentive for us and for me, can you just clarify that a little bit?
Well, I mean, if we're going to do more volume,
Right.
then we're going to get a better deal, right? That's what you're saying by bundling, so
Right.
we're buying more stuff.
Yes, thank you for clearing that up, absolutely. So by working with us more, doing more business, we can absolutely work with you on lowering those costs overall.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. I mean, again, my drivers want to go to Love's.
Right.
And it sounds like we have, John has a good relationship, like I said, so. And particularly if you're interested in doing my idea with the factoring, to me, that's what a partnership would be all about. And you say family, so if we're family, it should be a no-brainer.
Okay, so you're saying a partnership to you would be the factoring. Okay, well, for right now, all I can say is that bundling with us on these things is something that we can absolutely do today. As in regards to the factoring, in regards to the insurance money, I can't promise that, but I can promise you long-term discounts. I can promise you a long-term relationship between us and you, where we take care of you every step of the way.
Right.
So as far as this goes, this is a solid 100%. And then the other things, of course, that might be another meeting where we can discuss those fine details and the fine lines there.
It'd be contingent, obviously. If I don't get my 130, then none of this is gonna matter.
Okay,
But yeah, this is good stuff. And I mean, I think it could save us money, long term.
absolutely. So like I said, I have been following up with our insurance team, and I can follow up with you immediately after this meeting, just to see
Good.
kind of where they've come at.
Yeah.
To see how much of that we can get back to
And make
you.
sure you add the 33,000 from our plane.
I'm not sure if we would be able to do that specifically,
Why?
just because it's not related directly to Love's, and
Really? I had to fly up there because of Lowe's.
and I am sorry about that.
Mhm.
As far as the insurance specific money, that is something that we can absolutely work on getting that back to you.
Well, I would just let Caleb and your boss know how I feel about it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And like I said, that might be higher ups than me discussing what that future might look like. But as far as this goes today, can we go ahead and move forward and get solidified on the bundling idea here?
Is, you said you could immediately get back to me, we're on the insurance stuff. So as
Right.
soon as we get an answer on that,
Okay,
I would definitely have some information ready for the bundling,
okay,
and then we would definitely move forward.
okay. Sounds good. Well, thank you so much for your time today,
You bet.
and I look forward to hearing from you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Hi. Ooh. My goodness. You really threw me for a loop there. I was like, I don't know where to go with that. Awesome. That was fun. It's always so fun. I love working with you. It's so much fun. Thank you all. This
We'll see
is really such a fun thing.
Yep.
So
Good
fun.
job.
Hope to see you guys.
We'll see you in a minute.
Yeah, sounds
We
good.
have one more, and we'll be right back. All right.
Go ahead.
Hi, Randy Timms.
Yeah.
Isabel Duranzo.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Sure.
Here's my card.
Thank you.
It's not every day I get to sit down with the head of a company,
Oh.
so
Wow.
I'm very excited.
Okay.
Yeah, just wanted to thank you for taking time, off the road, because I know that you like to get out there and drive.
Well, I don't drive all the time, but yeah, occasionally.
Yeah, but thank you again.
Sure.
So, just to be mindful of your time,
Mhm.
I understand we have 17 minutes today.
Roughly, yeah.
Okay, great. Just be respectful of your time.
Mhm.
I've heard from Gil, I've heard from John,
Mhm.
and now I'm going to hear from you.
Okay.
You know, discover what Loves could improve upon, because, you know, throughout this process, I've learned so much about where Loves could improve.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's amazing because it's an opportunity for us to grow. So, yeah, I'd just like to spend some time getting to know where you stand with
Mhm.
Loves, and, you know, maybe, how we could continue that relationship.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a couple of things. One, an update on some information I think that John shared with you about the Tyson load.
Yes, yes.
So it seems that we, you know, when it happened, we got paid eventually, took 90 days to get anybody back from your company, but they paid back, they paid 100 of the $200,000.
Yes, yes.
Well, I'm not happy with that. And the other thing that wasn't taken into consideration, and John didn't know this when he met with you, but I was down at the lake and it was 4th of July. And so I had to charter a jet to fly up to Fayetteville
Okay.
because I was really my butt was in a ringer there because they were threatening to pull their business. And that's my largest shipper.
Okay.
And so I had to fly up there on my own dime immediately, time away from my family, time away from having fun, to basically save my business. Because for Tyson, you know, what happens is they have the Walmart's business. So that's very competitive. When a load doesn't get delivered, the chain reaction to that is that Walmart doesn't get the product. So therefore, Walmart could be looking at using like Pilgrim's Pride for an example, does the same thing Tyson does. Well, I don't haul for Pilgrim's Pride, right? So I haul for Tyson. So it could cost me a lot of money. So I had to spend, not only did am I out 200,000, you guys pay me back 100,000, but I'm out about $35,000 that I had to charter a jet to get up there.
Okay.
And so I definitely expect that money back.
Okay. And I forgot to ask earlier, can I take some notes?
Take all you want.
All right, just want to make sure.
Yep.
So firstly, I'd like to apologize. That does not sound like a fun time at all.
Yeah.
And, you know, just not an enjoyable experience.
Yeah. Not a good 4th of July.
Yeah, especially taking time away from your family.
Yep.
That's valuable,
Yeah.
especially with kids and, you know, making memories and things.
There
So
you go.
I'm truly sorry about that.
Mhm.
And, you know, just a very unfortunate situation. And I remember I was speaking with John about, you know, he got into contact, or WFX got into contact with Love's insurance company,
Yep.
or insurance department,
That's right.
to get the $100,000.
Was supposed to be 200.
Yeah,
and
to get
only
the
gave
additional
100. There you go.
100,000.
Mhm.
And I've been working on getting an update on that. It's a process.
It seems like it took 90 days for them to call me back the first time.
Yes, and I'm truly sorry about that. That's definitely something they should improve upon.
Mhm.
And it is a very significant,
Well, the numbers, yeah, the 100,000 plus 33,000, it's 133,000.
okay.
Yeah, that I'm out just so I can keep my business.
Hmm.
I mean, I had to spend that money. I mean, so when you have to start looking at long-term partnerships, I got to take that into consideration.
Of course, and that is completely understandable, especially with such an important customer and something like this to
Yeah,
happen.
huge.
Yeah, the kind of loss of trust
There you go.
between,
Mhm.
yeah, okay, so to determine what we can do here today, I can absolutely take all of that information
Mhm.
and pass it along to, like, I can make a phone call, like, right after this meeting
Great.
and call the people that can get right on that,
Mm-hmm.
to push that along to get you that money.
Good.
Because, yes, that is absolutely top
It'd be
priority.
like a miracle because it took 90 days to get the first 100,000. So if you can get it with a
Yeah.
phone call, we're doing great.
Yeah. But within this meeting, you know, that is a significant undertaking that, you know,
Mhm.
I myself can't, I can make a phone call, but I can't make it better right here and now.
Okay.
So just be comforted that I'm passing that information along, but, you know, in our meeting here today, what is it that you'd like to focus on? Because I know.
Well, that's important, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the other thing is when we start thinking about partnerships and long-term things, I have an idea where I think I can help you make more money
Okay.
as well,
Okay.
where we work together. But obviously, in order for me to want to do that with you, this $133,000 has to get taken care of. So
Yeah.
just to kind of let you know, my idea is that you have a factory division, I understand?
Yes, we do.
Okay. And so read up on that, got some information on that, and I'm one of the biggest fleets around. Everybody knows me. I've got a lot of pull,
Okay.
particularly with the smaller fleets.
Yeah.
And so I believe that I can convince them to get signed up to do your factoring.
Oh, all right.
And so I can get you some of those leads. I would just want a percentage of the profit.
Okay. Okay. You know, I think that very well could be something we could work out. Given, you know, we could have those discussions, there'd be a lot more people that would have to be in on that conversation.
Okay.
But that's a great idea.
It is,
I
isn't
believe that, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I appreciate you coming to us with that, especially, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it just shows that, you know, you do trust us, and despite the things that have been happening.
So far, so good, but we'll see how you come with 133,000. But yeah,
Yes,
I know.
yes.
I mean, my drivers, you know, my drivers like going to Love's, right? I mean, and I know Caleb, your boss, is really good friends with John, who works for me, and all that stuff, and that's important. That's great. But the truth is, you know, I'm in business for money. I got to make money,
Absolutely.
and so I can't afford to have these $130,000 hits.
Yeah, I can see how that's not sustainable.
And also too, you know, I think that my idea with the factoring, that I can utilize that money to help grow as well.
Okay. Would you mind telling me more about what growth you envision?
Well, at least 100 trucks I have on order that I'll be adding in the next 6-7 months.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And, you know, and I'm trying to decide whether I want to continue adding shops to some of my terminal locations or do those over the road. So that could be opportunities that you have. I don't know.
Okay. Just to clarify, like shops and terminal locations, you mean for maintenance
Mhm.
or, okay. Just wanted to make sure we're on the same page.
Mhm.
So in regards, so you're thinking about building your own and kind of, because I know you use a little bit of Love's preventative maintenance and speed on
Yeah.
things.
I do. I also use your competitor too.
Okay,
Mhm.
which competitive?
TA.
companies? TA, okay,
Mhm.
okay. So, you know, kind of looking back at the big picture, I'm seeing the theme of, you know, you mentioned it earlier, you're in the business for, you know, it all comes down to money and like savings and earnings, so, if it sounds like maybe something that you'd be interested in,
Mm-hmm.
we have, I don't know if you're familiar, but we have bundling,
Okay.
with Loves, where, you know, the more you fuel with Loves and the more services of ours we use, for example, retread tires purchasing with us or preventative maintenance, we can work out very competitive rates. And, you know, as you mentioned, you use TA a lot, and as well, considering taking those maintenance costs upon yourself, you know, that is a big investment,
It
having
is.
to create those shops, get the equipment, the training, the
Right.
salaries for employees,
Mm-hmm.
and undertaking that liability as well if anything were to go wrong.
Yeah.
But, you know, with Loves, there's that possibility of bundling and working something out to just make it easier on you.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand despite everything that's been happening, that is an area that, would you be curious to explore
Sure.
more about?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if I'm going to add 100 trucks, I'm going to be buying more fuel,
Yeah,
which
of
means I'll
course,
be
of
buying more
course.
tires. So if there's ability that I can buy more and save more,
Yeah.
why would I not do that?
Yeah.
The only reason why I wouldn't do that is if you didn't pay me $133,000.
And that is a valid reason.
Yeah.
So, great, if, you know, I can show you more about that, we could get a little bit more into the nitty gritty in the time that we have left. Would you agree to, you know, maybe have like a second meeting or, kind of agree upon, you know, the potential of partnering with Loves fully in that
Sure,
bundling?
because it goes both ways, right? Because my factoring idea as well is another way that we could partner, right? By just doing the factoring thing and me keeping part of the profit. I mean, you guys would keep the majority of the profit, but I would just want like 25% of it.
Okay, that's definitely something we'll have to discuss more.
Mhm.
So I think maybe a second meeting would be best so that I could bring in maybe Caleb and, you know, some other members of the Loves team to help, you know, advise on that. Because I'm really, I feel like that's a bit out of my waters, but
Okay.
bringing in those people that could better answer those questions and give you a more accurate kind of representation of what that would look like. Because that's a great idea.
I think it is too, yeah.
Yeah. Great. So I can show you a little bit more about the bundling.
Sure, I mean, do you have some specifics, like how many more gallons, how much more I could save?
Unfortunately, I don't have specifics,
Mhm.
because, I don't carry the numbers, your specific, consumption numbers with me all the time. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But, in that next meeting, I'll be able to gather all that information and,
Mhm.
have it beautifully set up. in this,
Beautifully. Okay.
color coordinated spreadsheet
Wow.
that, it'll give
Okay.
you all those numbers at the base, and
Mhm.
you could share that with anyone else, that if you go to anyone else to help you make decisions in that. I know ultimately, are you the final
My name's on the door.
yes, no, maybe?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, John does a lot. John's my right hand, but,
Yeah, of course.
but no, ultimately, I'm the one who writes all the checks
Okay.
and also has to fly back on 4th of July, so.
Yes. So, with that, in that second meeting, you have John, you, Caleb, just gonna be a party looking over these numbers and seeing how
Good.
much you would save with Loves.
Sure.
But yeah, what the bundling would look like,
Mhm.
is just, you can switch over to Loves for maintenance.
Mhm.
And, I know there's some concerns about the quality of service, but
Yeah.
we're addressing that through, there's a Loves Academy for
Mhm.
training mechanics.
Okay.
And in addition, cross-training,
Mhm.
to pick up the tire pass kind of time. So all those concerns, we have solutions implemented in place working to
Mhm.
correct that. So by going to Loves, to use a preventative maintenance, like in Speedco and light maintenance and things, that ensures the level of quality, that will save you money, so you don't have to open up all of these different
Mhm.
maintenance terminals. Will save you time.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's for maintenance, and of course, tires, gallons, gallons per month. And there's a
Mhm.
discount rate, so you just have to hit that fuel
Mhm.
goal per month. And that'll do it.
Yeah.
And for factoring, I'm excited to discuss.
I think it's a great idea. I mean, if I don't do it with you, I'll do it with somebody, so.
Great. Okay, do you have any hesitations towards setting up a second meeting?
No, I think as you said, you could get on the phone as soon as you leave here and get an
Yes, sir.
answer from your insurance department. So as long as that can get paid, then, I mean, we could certainly, after that's secured, then we could definitely set up a second meeting.
Amazing.
Hopefully it's a final meeting. You can get all the pretty stuff out there. Like you
Oh, it's
mentioned.
gonna be beautiful.
Yeah.
I would get excited.
Look forward to that.
Great, okay. So we could meet here at what time is best for you?
You tell me, you're the one that's got to call and find out that they get the 133,000.
Fair enough. I will send you a follow-up email with the date and time. And I'll give you a few options because I know
Okay,
schedules can be finicky.
sounds great.
Great,
I appreciate it.
thank you so much.
Thanks again.
I was expecting FBI. You traumatized me. I was like, I'm ready. No, I'm kidding. Oh, okay. And I watched my video and I remember I was for a minute just like freaking out about the FBI on live stream. So I won't do that again. Oh, thank you.
All right, just sit on down and we'll be done in a minute. Okay, so
Kill it.
that concludes our finalists for CSI. I'm going to stop the live stream and we will be down with the results in a few minutes and our award ceremony. So I want to thank you, Todd, for once again being an extremely difficult buyer.
Okay. Go get